All right. Today is July 23rd, 2025. Now, I have heard a while ago, I heard investigators talking. They thought they stole somebody else's medical records and put my name up. They said, you look her up. She's never been in a state psychiatric hospital. She's never had a competency hearing. Okay? So they think they stole somebody else's medical records and put her name on it. I heard an officer say that today. The same thing. Oh, was talking. It's not funny that those people say they have medical records. That's a federal crime. Federal crime. 10 years for having them. HIPAA and Privacy Acts. It's illegal to have somebody else's medical records. And it's not funny that they have some doctor that's not one of hers but works for them. And they lied he was one of her doctors. Okay. And those doctors from before were just throwing out any diagnosis, trying to figure out why her muscles locked up. And it was all those surgeries. And they were all lying. Okay. All right. Now we're going to put it this way. You know those idiots where they were running around. Oh, we'll make sure she can never carry a gun again. Well, you know what? I went down and I got my concealed carry again. Like that officer that showed up outside my client's last week. No law enforcement cares that she carries a gun. We all know all those doctors from before were fraud. Medical malpractice and medication errors, and it was them making her sick. And they were all lying. No law enforcement cares, and we all know how cautious she is with a gun. And the guy that watches her for the FBI case says she's even afraid to shoot a gun. And she's very cautious when she has one. No law enforcement cares that she carries a gun. Where these people try to bully people, oh, we're going to make sure she can never carry a gun. We have police that work for us. Police don't work for the cartel. They don't work for drug dealers. Start thinking how much they're lying. And they lie. That's all they do is lie. That's why I call them the Pinocchio group. Oh, just like, and Officer Mark or John, I do need you to make sure that you talk to Dr. Rapika's office. Because when I was out there last time, they were out, someone was in office. After that doctor had her tape saying blah, 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 blah. Well, her kids verified it. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And since they verified it for Will, we have agreement with law enforcement. No law enforcement can help her, and we won't say a word. Say a word, bitch. I'll own you. I'll own you. I'll have news crews in your face. I'll put your face and who you are and what you did to me all over every social media, and a team of lawyers suing you for harming me. Get it? Fair warning. It's not a threat, it's a promise. Oh, and then they try to say, oh, we have social workers working with us. They wouldn't dare. It would cost them their license and their freedom. And the police and the FBI already told them I was drugged and told to say it before. January 1922. Just like these people had somebody impersonate my mother before the case started, where Jerry came up to me at that one outing and said, what do you expect after what your mother did? I said, what did my mother do? She hasn't lived in Ohio in 15 years. He said, 15 years. I said, 15 years. What would my mother have done? She hasn't been back here since 03. It was 2018. He said, 03, 15 years. I said, what would she have done? She's not even been here. He got up and walked off. I called my mom. I said, what'd you do? She said, I haven't done anything. I haven't talked to those people in 15 years, Garrett. I have nothing to do with them. I do not associate with them. I've not even been in Ohio in 15 years. And I said it again, and she's like, Karen, I have nothing to do with those people. Well, I start laughing. I realize it's a scam. I said, well, why don't you just confess to it, admit to it, apologize, and we'll move on. She said, I don't confess to anything I didn't do wrong. I don't admit to anything I didn't do wrong. And I don't talk to those people, and I don't apologize for nothing I didn't do wrong. About a month ago, I was out in Belton. People found out my son John lived in Florida for years. Oh, years, 3 or 4. They had somebody, I found out, impersonate him, riding around with him, asking people to help harm me. And he lives in Florida, remarried. And I told you what Melissa did to him by setting him up to be arrested. How after the divorce, she snuck in his house. After she dropped the kids off, he didn't know she was there. He went in to use the bathroom, and she was hiding. And he comes out, and she lunges at him, screaming, ah! And he shoved her because he was startled. And laughed, now I got you. Had him arrested, domestic violence. Had to bail out, get an attorney, pay fines. Lost his kids for a year. Okay. He called me up about a year later. He said, Mom, I need a reliable name to pick up the kids from school for the court record so I can get partial custody. I said, John, I work 2 jobs. I can't help you. I'm so sorry. He said, but Mom, if you don't help me, these are my kids. I'll lose them forever. I said, John, I am sorry, I can't help you. He said, but Mom, these are my kids. He said, I'll lose them. I said, John, I barely make it now. He said, I said, if I quit, I don't even get off the first job, let alone the second. And I don't make enough now. I only made $12 an hour at one job and $10 at the other. And I only got $1,200 in alimony. It was like $1,250. And my rent was almost $700. It was like $675, and my car payment was $570. I didn't make enough. That didn't even hardly cover my rent and my car. I had utilities, insurance, cell phones, food, gas, medical bills. On that little bit of pay, it don't cover much of anything. And I didn't have insurance. So I had to pay for everything out of pocket. So it was like, I'm sorry. I can't help you. I barely make it now. He said, but Mom, if you don't help me and I don't have a reliable name to put on those court records, I'll lose them forever. I said, I'm so sorry. I won't have a place to live. He ended up losing his kids. He moved to Florida, and he married a beautiful woman. He comes, sees them a couple times a year. Now, Melissa makes $95,000 to $145,000 being an electrical design engineer. Been one for more than 10 years, so she probably makes $145,000. And she gets because John's an electrician too, gets like $30,000 in child support. She makes about $175,000 a year. He would tell you if that bitch Can't make it out, and that's $175 a year. Tell her to go out and get another job. She wants to be sole parent that bad to pull that mean stunt. Tell her to figure it out herself. He would never help her. Ever in this life. And it would be a slap in his face for anybody to help him. He's the one on Thanksgiving of 18, a legally bugged house. When I asked him what was going on, he didn't know. He had told Melissa, his ex-wife, that we were going through a divorce. I was going to be moving out. She'd have the kids make up something, but don't worry about it. Nobody can ever say anything bad about you. She'll have her church people make up something too, but trust me, Mom, nobody can say anything bad about you being made up because of the divorce and you're moving out. I said, well, you shouldn't have said anything till it happened, but I did. And since I did, and it's just going to be made up and nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it and shoot me. Police and FBI taped him. That's where, after Thanksgiving of 18, the police and the FBI had a huddle in the front of Walmart. They already sold the login. There's no hiding anything. Said, why are they having the kids make it that shit up? Said, oh, they're just trying to scare her into giving up the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. All these people have done is admitted that they drugged me and told me to say it before. Photoshop that shower scene of washing yourself in a shower in another room in their stocking tapes that they framed me. They made fun of everyone. They made fun of FBI agent John, that he'd actually fall for it. They even admitted that that doctor from before was never one of mine. He works for them. They have lied. And they also admitted this whole thing is a scam from Bill from the Freemasons. The police and investigators had let me know May 30th, 25, that Dave hired 2 men on his own. One said he was an attorney. And so they were telling people made it legal. No, it don't. It makes it worse illegal. It is right on Google. If an attorney sets up button cameras in somebody's home, they are to be disbarred and criminally charged for cyberstalking. If an attorney has their doctor friend pull somebody's medical records, they are to be disbarred and criminally charged. And the doctor is to lose their license forever and be criminally charged. It's a 10-year sentence and $1 million fine. These are federal crimes. Nor can a doctor be hired to evaluate somebody that is not one of their patients without their signed consent. Nor can they write up fraud. Nor can any doctor talk about you without your consent. These are federal crimes with 10-year federal sentences and $1 million of fines. So I was out at Dr. Rapika's office. Officer Marker John, I need you to have a talk with him. There's some lady in the office, in another room, and was saying, after that doctor taped her saying the dirty, filthy statement, well, Dave told Danny on April 16, 23, that it was just some guy named Pete he hired on his own. Pete's a drug dealer from Florida. And with Judge Peter's group that was with Faith Family Church. Those men that said they were from Florida worked for Judge Peters and were admitting they were harming me. He was not a retired judge from Ravenna, friends with Ludick, and helping him get away with crimes. And those weren't Portage County sheriffs working for that retired judge. On Google, sheriffs and police do not work for retired judges. They were other drug dealers from Florida, like they said that they worked for Judge Peters, and they were from Florida. Judge Peters was arrested in 22 by the FBI and 100 men. They were at Faith Family Church in front of 3,000 people, breaking their crime, selling government technology. And bragging that they can control anybody with their drugs. They call them mind-controlling drugs. They found out during the case in August of 2019 that it was a cocktail of drugs, a Valium mixed with a bunch of other drugs to make you sleepwalk. It is illegal to drug somebody for a fake confession. That is a big federal crime. June 25th, 25 in Rural King. They were in there talking. Investigators, the police working the case, found out it was some attorney's office, thought they could have her drugged for fake confessions, photoshopped and framed on their own. And they were having her drug beat and raped. Okay? But Dave told Danny he hired just some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in his home before. Pete has her framed. Pete has her taped the filthy, dirty statement. They already confessed years ago they drugged me and told me to say it before several times. But when I was at Rapika's office, that lady was able. Now that doctor has her tape saying, well, her kids verified it. No, they didn't. And since they verified it, we have agreement with law enforcement. No one can help her. They do not. And we won't say a word. Say a word, bitch. See, they just run around lying to everybody that they can do this and get away with it. And it's like there's mental retardation in the water. And people falling for a drug scam. The investigators have told people that this whole thing is a drug scam from the drug dealers. Drug scam. And drug dealers are doing this. Officer Mark and other police consider that guy Will and that some guy named Pete that they've hired on his own drug cartel. Get the idea? But I need you to talk to Dr. Rapika's office and tell him that guy Will's just a scammer. Where April 24th, 25, up in Summit Mall, the Texas group was up there. You tell that guy Will that was to pull off a scam here to join us. That it's all run because Michelle told on him that that doctor is not one of hers but works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. You tell him we said take care of her. They're still leaving threats on that girl. You better have her. An FBI agent, John, Officer Mark, Officer John, you need to get her the hell out of here. She don't ever need to come back to Ohio. You hear me? She's a little girl. Well, I'm going to go ahead and upload this. But yeah, where those people, we're going to make sure she can never carry a gun. Like I said, no law enforcement cares. Got my concealed carry redone. See, they have enough control over you as your own stupidity. They act like they are the Nazis, and I'm one of the Jews from back in the World War. That they can have me drugged, beat, raped, publicly humiliated. That they could kill me in front of people, torture me in front of people, that they could run experiments. They act like the Nazis did with the Jews. That this isn't the United States of America, and that we don't have any rights. I have better teachers that love the United States and love the Constitution and installed it in every student they had. If you learn your rights, scam artists cannot take anything from you. See, these people lie to you, they can do this to you, and they can take your rights away from you. They can tell you how to talk, act, dress. They can have you drugged for fake confessions, publicly humiliated, beat, raped, tortured. And they can steal everything from you and all your rights, and they can get you in trouble for them running a scam on you. The only thing they have power over is your stupidity. And they act like they're the Nazis. And they can do it whatever they want to whoever they want. They can't. If the cartel wouldn't have been involved and the FBI went after the cartel that was connected to them, they would have been arrested the first day. I'm going to upload this.